request one of the class representative to do this. Okay, so I'll just enable some permissions, or I'll just enable permission to one of you so that you guys can record it. I won't take care of the recording aspect of it. I hope that should be okay.
Yes.
Okay, so before we start, yeah, somebody has a question. Ambrish, go ahead. Hello. Somebody raised the hand. Is there anything that I need to address at the moment? Okay, I don't see that further. Okay, so again, so welcome to the CLL261. So this course, of course, is taught by me, Hariprasad. So I am a faculty, of course, at the Department of Chemical Engineering and a joint faculty at School of AI. So we'll see what all things that we are going to see. So this is, of course, I'm not presenting anything new. You should know all of this. So the course name is Process Dynamics and Control, and it's a core course with 4 credits running in each slot. Okay, so this is the plan. So I have done this like last time we were trying to do it fully flipped mode, but this time I am thinking we will do mostly in live class in MS Teams with some component of it may be available as recorded video. But the live class, of course, you can record the video. That should be okay. So you can, of course, record it, but I would mostly plan to have the class at the regular slot through MS Teams, which is, of course, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday between 10 to 11. And I do generally present all the notes in terms of PPTs that would be available in Moodle. And I see MS Teams also has a functionality in uploading the notes. Let me see which is more flexible, but I think mostly I would do it through Moodle. And of course, this is since being a 4 credit course, so this contains a tutorial component. So tutorial component, what we are planning is, of course, we have 4 tutorial slots, but we are only going to take one of that, which is Monday between 1 to 2. Why? Because of course you can record it and use it for your reference. And if something is spilling over, we will try to use some of the other slots. But most likely Monday would be our default tutorial slot. Okay. And of course we would also use Friday, which is the 4th tutorial slot, for any spilling over thing. If something is spilling over from Monday, which we were unable to cover during that day, or followed by some doubt clearing. So basically, which means that Tuesdays and Thursday tutorial slots are kept floating. We might use it for using some conducting some quiz and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, so the active slots would be Monday and Friday. Out of it, Monday would be the tutorial session, fully tutorial session, and all of you are welcome to participate and of course record it. And something is spilling over, since we are having a large class, I am sure that there could be many queries that could pop up. So we will keep reserve one slot for slot fully for doubt clearing session, which is on Friday. So Monday to Friday, which we are giving this window, because if you guys need to review something till Friday, you can do that, and you can attend the tutorial on the coming Monday, or any way you would like to. So is there any queries on this at the moment? Anyone?
So for the chemical department, this slot is free for a tutorial. Would require the biotech department to decide if it is up.
Pardon?
So the time is actually very fine for the chemical department, the tutorial slots. Just want the biotech department to confirm that once.
Yes,
sure.
We are also free in the.
Perfect. Cool. Very nice. So yeah. So, and of course we have the other 2 slots kept floating, and if we need it, we'll activate. But we most likely will work on Monday and Friday, so that we'll be able to deal most of the things. Okay, cool. So why this course? Okay. So process control course is slightly different as compared to the other courses that you have either learned or going to learn in your curriculum for be it biochemical or chemical or anything. So so the content of this process control course, if you see, it would be most likely related to electrical engineering and some amount of CS, computer science. So eventually the process control being process automation. Automation is typically is the hardcore area of uh, other engineers. So it's not a hardcore chemical engineering or even a biochemical engineering area. So the lot of components from or the contents from electrical and CS to some extent. The way, of course, in a basic control course, the level of computer science involvement would be less. But if you look at the process control as a paradigm, it's basically an interface between chemical engineering, electrical engineering, and computer science. So chemical engineering, because we are using it for process industries, and the techniques are quite generic, and basically they form theoretical foundations in their respective what I call areas, most likely in electrical or computer science. And the fundamental difference that you would really see here is the is the way we deal with the overall process or process units, or even in that way process plan. So you are not really worried about too much in the nitty-gritties, because every unit, every process unit you consider as a system, then if you system what a system would have a definite boundary, what you call you have some inputs, some outputs, and some laws that governing that inputs and outputs, and that is what we would really look it from the system's point of view. Once you capture that system level information, okay, so then the chemical engineering aspect of it ends there. So then we are mostly into the control aspect of it, which would be mostly adopted from the principles of fundamental. So control theory and is a fundamental area in electrical engineering, and to some extent in computer science if you talk about data driven modeling and things like that. So the chemical engineering aspect of it, we are applying it to chemical industries, and the system level information, which is basically the inlet, outlet, and some of the governing laws that manages them. Then, then it's so that is the process level abstraction that we would take. Then, of course, it's into the other side of the what you call engineering. Uh, Okay, so basically, control. Why do you need to control? So you want to have everything, what you call under normal, under what you call non-anomalous condition. See, in any system. So see, the word I am using system, which we will continue to use it multiple times. We might not say reactor. We might not say a separator. I'll just say a system. So a system could be anything. For instance, your reactor could be a system, your separator could be a system, your filtration unit could be a system. See, so that is the chemical engineering system. If you look at others, so you may also see a system is a very generic name. In aerospace, if you write aeroplane could be a system. Okay, so moving car, automotive could be a system. Okay, and so on and so forth. That's why this is if you try to represent the overall unit as a system, then you can apply all the what you call generic tools or laws that are applicable to system. So that's why this is slightly different perspective when you analyze the problem, because we are mostly looking at that what we call as the systems approach. We'll talk about that later little bit. But of course, this being a undergraduate course, we will only look at the basic aspect of it. And when you look at in the graduate level or even postgraduate and so on and so forth, then you would see that more and more we are going towards the cutting edge aspects of what they call the innovations of CS and electrical engineering. Forget about that. So at the moment, but yeah, so we might be interested in, so see the process, so the process contains two aspects. So the course contains two aspects, process dynamics and control. So this, that is also something different than you might have carefully looked in previously. Most of the designs, for instance, I don't know, you have, I hope you have done a CRE course and things like that, but if you see most of the designs you might have learned considering steady state, strict, strict steady state assumptions, because that would be the overall throughput, that would be the maximum process, what you call the volume that you need to process. Under that assumption of steady state, you design everything. But here, things are in real time. In real time, in the sense that you would have to make things work, okay, while interacting with, again, I'll use the word system, be it a process, chemical process plant, be it a aeronautic system, be it an automotive system, which is truly dynamic in nature. So things are varying with respect to time, okay, and you will be able to intervene with such system, what I would say, in a timely fashion. That's why the first aspect of the course would mostly talk about the dynamics. So how do you model the dynamic aspect of such system? So that's why this process dynamics comes to it. Okay, so when you are fairly good in dealing with the dynamical system, then you could also look at how you could control it so that there is nothing non-anomalous when things, what I would say, so you could avoid any non-anomalous characteristics. What do you mean by non-anomalous characteristics? Something that is not really desirable. For instance, runaway of a reaction, off-spec product formation. What I would say, there is some sudden falls. For instance, there is a fall that is happening in your reactor. There is some what I would say, heat, excess heat, and your system is getting salvaged and so on and so forth. So anything that is so we would, so that's why you need to control. You need to avoid this non-anomalous characteristics so that things are safe, stable, and of course makes you good profit. So there is some aspect of optimization would also come into the picture. Of course, we might not deal with that so much in the this course, but of a follow-up course on the process of advanced process control, you would see that all of this would be taken up later. So, any questions at the moment? Any questions at the moment? Okay, so I would assume that I am there's none, and I'm going ahead. Okay, so most likely the content I would follow this particular textbook, Process Dynamics and Control by Seaborg, Edgar, Millich, and Doyle. So that is fairly what I would say modular in nature. So it is very nicely modularized in terms of topics. So and it's an easy read. So I would most likely follow. In fact, 95% or above, I'll follow the chapters of the book rigorously so that you will also be able to connect it from your side. I would strongly recommend you would get a hard copy or e-copy of the book and use it as a, what I would say, own reference. Okay. And as I told, so the tentative course content would be first 14 or 15 chapters. not wholly, of course. The major topics selected, that's what I told, the selected topics from first 14 or 15 chapters. So that would be the overall content, course content, which 14, if you assume 14 weeks, we would like to cover, so we would try to cover the first 14 chapters, 14 or 15 chapters, sometimes plus or minus. Some selected topics. Of course, the selected topics would be there in my presentation, so you can definitely go back and correlate with if you have a textbook. Otherwise, my notes would also be sufficient enough in terms of coverage. Okay, so being a core course, there are other references, of course, would be helpful if you would like to do a deep dive and understand this topic. And somebody who is really interested, if you would like to learn more. Chemical process control by Stephanopoulos, okay, and process systems analysis and control by whatever LeBlanc and Kofnau. So this is the overall premise in which we play around, and of course you would also be receiving my notes, which is uploaded in the Moodle. So you can kind of browse through each of these and get a clarity on the course content. And of course, your lectures are also recorded, and will also have some tutorials. So I hope that would be sufficient enough for you to get a overall feel on the entry level course. Any doubt here? Anything that requires more clarification, or shall I go ahead? I'll stop for a minute. I hope I am audible, and let me know if
Yes,
my
sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir.
No doubts. There's no
okay.
issues.
Okay, so now coming to the topics, I don't know it makes much of a sense for you at the moment. So this would be the topic-wise coverage that we would plan to include. Again, plus or minus delta depending upon the schedule and time. Of course, we'll have introduction, which we'll start from the next class. Then how to have you have learned about the process modeling and how do you so that's mostly of a recap kind of a thing. Then we will try to see how this model could be used in a process control context in a dynamic fashion. Then we talk about how to transform them to a useful domain called Laplace domain. I don't know whether in the math course, MPL courses, you learned about Laplace transforms. If yes, nice. Otherwise, anyway, we'll also have some what I would say uh, some room for that in the code. Then we will learn about something known as transfer function, uh, which is a Laplace transformed chemical process model. Once we have that model, then we will try to characterize the dynamic behavior. What is the dynamic behavior that is of important to us? Why that is important to us? Can we have some specific uh, character? So specific, what I would say, some nice attributes of those dynamic behavior, which we will be able to use them for understanding the system. This would be mostly, as I told, first part would almost 50% of the part would be uh, the dynamics. So then, so we have so then we will see that there are some the simplest systems are first order and second order, and you will also be able to connect this with your model order, which is first order or second order, which is generally easier to deal. Then we have a little bit of more complicated order systems. Okay. So here we will try to see the seventh is what we will talk about development of model from data, which is itself is a spin-off, which we call it as data-driven modeling and things like that. So this spin-off is actually would lead to, of course, not in this particular course. If somebody would like to learn and understand, here is what the data-driven modeling, machine learning, and all will come to fit in. Development of models from data. So here, this spin-off would eventually lead to the ML-based modeling of process system. Of course, we will not go into detail, but I'll try to give you a coverage. Okay, so then if you do, then this 50% I would say, then we could cover the dynamics. Then we'll talk about the control. Okay, what is a feedback control? Then how to make the system stable, because instability is a, yeah, you wanted to say something? Okay, so I'll go ahead. Then control, design, tuning, troubleshooting, then how to do the control strategies at the unit level. Then we also tried to talk about something known as frequency response analysis of modeling, which is slightly different compared to the other techniques that we have learned before. Okay. Then we will see whether we will be able to cover the feed forward and ratio control aspect. As I told, this is tentative topics. So tentative topics. So depending upon our time and overall progression. So this is what at least I anticipate to cover in the overall course, as I told, plus or minus delta. So any questions at the moment?
Seems insightful, so good to go.
Okay, if there are no more questions, I will further move ahead. What was that? Okay, leave it. So yeah, so if you are not speaking specifically for a question, I request you to be in mute mode so that the overall distance, this disturbance would be very less. So your TAs would be Sarthak and Aniket. I think they are here. So I hope both of you are here, Sarthak and Aniket.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there is a possibility of having one more TA because the class size is so huge. So as soon as I get the information, I'll let you know. Otherwise, these two would be your nodal contacts. In the sense, if you have some queries, I would urge you that you would try to reach out to them first, and then come to me if that is not resolved from that. Anyway, we have a default doubt clearing session, which is like an office hour. So if things are not getting resolved there, we'll take it up with them first. Then even if it is not getting resolved from there, and it will come to us, come to me rather. Just to keep that what I would say check clean. Okay, so this is what the tentative, oh, not tentative, this would be the evaluation policy of the course. I hope, so we have this major worth 40% towards the end, and as per the calendar, we have only one minor. So that would take the 30% of the remaining 30% would be quizzes. So we'll conduct 3 quizzes, approximately 1 month each you count. So we will plan to this August, mid September. So eventually by end of November, I would assume our course would be ending. So approximately 1 quiz per month, and we'll take the best out of best 2 out of 3. So that you would have it. You would have a, what I would say. You would have a way to kind of compensate either if you miss one, or if you feel if you could have performed more or something like that. All of this could be addressed, and any other quizzes, and what I would say, this date would be fairly well, what we'll announce fairly well in advance, at least 10 days, hopefully 7 to 10 days before. So make sure that you attend this, and since being a large class, I in fact uh, uh, strongly discourage, or even not even or had to have a rescheduling beyond this scheduled timing. And if you miss a quiz, of course there are 2 out of 3, you can try the other one, and if you are missing 2, and yeah, it would be very difficult for to compensate. So make sure that you attend all the quizzes and give your best shot, because the class size is huge and the scheduling become a problem. And of course, the major and minor calendar would be there, and we will work with the calendar. And again, just for the record keeping and what I would say management, all the exams would be conducted by a mobile, which means that uh, it would be most likely an auto-graded exam with what I would say with questions given to you, and you would type in or even fill in or choose in your answers via Moodle. So this was we did it like this only last time, and yeah, so it was fairly okay. And now the class size is still more on the higher side, but hopefully this should be uh, possible this time as well. And of course, I always do relative grading. So yeah, any questions here? I hope there would be some questions.
Yes, sir. The pass marks in the audit would be placed at 30 for this course.
See, I don't know if still the audit policy now for so, because this being a core course, right? So core course audit policy is not yet announced, right?
So there was a minutes of the meeting that was circulated. I
So that's
think there is.
Like the institute policy is 30, so just wanted to confirm that.
no, no, no. See, institute policy for audit would definitely prevail. That is absolute fine. But I am not very sure the audit policy for this academic calendar is out or what. Whatever is institute fixed is what I would also fix. Got it? So there is
Yes.
nothing. So what is the bare minimum cutoff that institute going to keep?
So
Would be
30,
the
they've kept it at 30, both for pass and audit.
the previous that's for the previous semester. No.
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir.
So if they would bring, so if there is, and if they allow the audit, and if still the condition prevails, it would be 30%. Don't worry about it.
Okay, sir.
Or if they change it, and that would, with respect to the latest notification, whatever comes, we'll go with that.
Sure, sir.
So yeah, fairly, I would request you to be, see, being a large class and relatively wider and audience, so it's important that we all cooperate each other for a better learning and a better, what I would say, synergy for evaluation. So I would really request you, all of you, to coordinate with the with TAs, me, and whomsoever, and possibly your class representatives in organizing the exam and making the conduct smoothly, so that we'll have very minimal hiccups. I would really not want to have too many issues coming out of it, and we would be working closely with the class reps if you need to address any point. So we'll anyway. I'll talk to that later. So medical re-exam, of course, what is the institute rule? If you have, of course, the bad time, and medical, if you have a medical leave, yes, we will have, based on the institute, as per the rule, with the medical certificate, we'll go ahead. And the re-exams, technically, I don't encourage. Quiz, definitely there is no request, because we have three out. We have 2 out of 3. And if there is a genuine, most likely a medical case, and it is expected that the re-exam would be a viva rather than a the anticipation at the moment, but we will see. But yeah, I would really would not like to have you come for a re-exam. So that, but again, we cannot now schedule conflict calculation in the sense everyone can come, including me.
So your voice is breaking. So your voice breaks in between.
Okay, okay now.
There's some problem.
It's a break.
Is it okay now?
No, sir.
No,
It's
sir.
breaking.
Give me a minute.
Sure.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's okay.
Yes, sir. Much better.
So there was some disruption. Yeah, so emergencies, that is, of course, unforeseen emergencies we'll have to accommodate. And we'll do it in case-to-case basis, but yeah, about minimal, we would like to have minimal interruptions. Otherwise, again, being a large class, it is very difficult to manage. So this is what I have with to you for the first class, and I'll be happy to take up any specific questions. And I would also request the class reps to type your name and your what you call your contact number in the chat box so that we can reach out to you. And
Sure, sir. But I
yeah,
can't find the chat box over here.
acha, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, must have been disabled for this chat, or there's some other.
So let me see.
I can. Yes.
So let me just type something. Hi all. You would see something. How are you able to see something?
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am able to see.
Yeah. So
Dave can type
sometimes.
for me. Dave, please write my number and my text.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the overall package, guys. So I would really like to have a smooth sail with very, very, very minimal hiccups. And if something is there, we will try to take it up with the help of class coordinators. And very specific, of course, with me. And yeah, I would really like to have a what you call engaging session with all of you. And all the best. And if you have something, I will be happy to discuss that. Any queries?
So is there any provision for a attendance policy? That's what some students are asking.
No, no attendance policy
Okay, sir.
because of course it's online and we are recording it. No attendance policy as of now. But of course your attendance log will be available to me because when the class is over, the teams would give you an attendance policy, attendance list, which I will keep for my record. That's all. So I hope that is clear. There is no mark, nothing as of now. And of course, the recorded lectures you can go over and please utilize the doubt clearing sessions. If you have any doubt, I would most likely all your notes would be given beforehand. Being an online class, it may be better if you could just browse through the PPTs and come. Maybe even 10 minutes browsing would be good enough. So that what is that going to get? You would be in a better position to kind of follow the class and the tutorial as well. Tutorial, we will try to solve almost all the problems. We will solve in the sense we will explain how to solve and things like that, not with various steps. And you can use the recorded solutions, and we can use the doubt clearing sessions. And some of the solutions will also upload. So we will all the repositories would be available to you, and the TAs and I would be there for you to coordinate, but we will have to deal with in a very synchronized fashion because of the class sizes. That's why we will keep a time for the doubt clearing session specifically, and anything beyond that, you can reach out to the TA, and if that is not resolved from there, and it will come to me. Is that all right, guys? Any issues? Anything you would like to, any more special points that you would like to address, clarify, so on and so forth?
And there are none that I'm getting from the class, sir. If I do so, I'll ask the TAs or you.
Perfect, absolutely fine. So Dev is DB rep, right? Dev.
Yes, sir.
And Ashutosh is chemical structures.
Yes.
We'll be in close connect with you so that any issues we can smoothly take up. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So Aniket and Sarthak, you wanted to add anything over the top?
No, sir, nothing as of now. I guess everything has been covered.
Perfect. Sarthak?
Yes, sir. So nothing for now, so.
Okay, so then if there are nothing, I think in introductory class is expected to be a short one. So I would also leave you guys. And if you have anything, okay, so one more policy, okay. If you write me an email, okay, please also copy this to the TAs. So because within the email flood, if I miss it, and at least the TAs, if at least one of you are reading it, we will anyway reconcile all the emails over the weekend. We can try to respond as much. But if there is anything missing, it's a sincere request that whenever you write, yeah. So see, so I'll come to that. So please copy them as well. So this presentation that I have given will be uploaded in the Moodle. The email IDs of the TS are there, so you will be able to get it. So that's why I put them there. So whatever queries or anything that you would like to write, it's a sincere request that please copy TS also, because so that we won't miss it from our radar. So too many emails, it's suspected that at least one of us is missing, but just to avoid that. Okay, guys. Then, if there are no more questions, let's try to engage for the coming 3-4 months, and all the best.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
So, okay, one more thing. We will only use the single link. So, I'm not going to create any more new links for the lecture. You will have one more link for the doubt clearing session and bar over the tutorial. That's all. So, or we might just use the same one. I not decided that, but like weekly sending what I would say new links. It's again an email bomb which I would like to avoid. This you can just go and click this link and we will be there. Will be there as active. Okay.
Sure, sir. We'll pin the link for reference.
Sure. Okay then. Bye bye. Thank you. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir.